Good evening. My name is Mandy Cross. I am a former student athlete. I wanted to thank you all for coming tonight to this Booster Club meeting. I want to talk a little bit about what happens with student athletes. First, I want to start off with a poem. It's called The Road Ahead or The Road Behind by George Moriarty. Sometimes I think the fates must grin as we denounce them and insist the only reason we can't win is the fates themselves have missed. Yet there lives on an ancient claim we win or lose within ourselves. The shining trophies on our shelves can never win tomorrow's game. So you and I know deeper down there's a chance to win the crown, but when we fail to give our best, we simply haven't met the test. The test of giving all and saving none until the game is really won, of showing what is meant by grit, of fighting when others quit, of playing through, not letting up, it's bearing down that wins the cup, of taking it and taking more until we gain the winning score, of dreaming there's a goal ahead, of hoping when our dreams are dead, of praying it when our hopes have fled, yet losing, not afraid to fall, if bravely we have given all. For who can ask more of a man than giving all within his span? It seems to me it's not so far from victory. And so the fates are seldom wrong, no matter how they twist and wind. It's you and I who make our fates. We open up or close the gates on the road ahead or the road behind. A lot of people feel that student athletes should be paid. They also feel that scholarships should cover all expenses. A lot of people are given the wrong information. They think that when a student athlete receives a scholarship, everything involved in college is covered. Most of the time, student scholarships cover tuition, room and board, books that are used, and sometimes you'll be fortunate enough that they cover a meal plan. The NCAA spends roughly $2.7 billion in athletic scholarships every year. This is second only to the federal government. This is according to the NCAA.org. $199.2 million is distributed to all Division I schools to help fund NCAA sports and provide scholarships for college athletes. Each school's distribution is determined based on how many sports it sponsors and how many scholarships it provides. There's also a $199.2 million basketball fund distributed to Division I conferences and independent schools based on performance in the men's basketball tournament over a 6-year rolling period. Until 1 unit is awarded for each school participating in each game, except the championship game, over the same 6-year period. The conferences distribute the funds among their members based on their specific revenue sharing programs. $93.8 million Division I championship. Resources allocated to Division I championships are intended to provide the best possible championship experiences for student athletes and include support for team travel, food, and lodging. $77.8 million is set aside for a student assistance fund intended to help Division I student athletes with needs that may arise during their time in college, like family emergencies, clothing and essentials, academic supplies, and medical costs not covered by another insurance program. It can also be used for additional educational purposes, such as enrolling in summer school. $25.8 million academic enhancement fund. This is distributed to enhance academic support programs for student athletes at Division I schools. The common uses include tutoring services, equipment such as laptops or tablets, and supplies. $64 million is allotted to Division II and III allocations to support championships, grants, student athlete services, and programs. $54.8 million is other Division I distribution approved by the NCAA Board of Governors and distributed to Division I schools after NCAA revenue exceeds expenses the prior fiscal year, providing additional dollars to support student athletes. $9 million is granted in conference grants distributed to Division I conferences to enhance program related to officiating, compliance, and minority opportunities and more. $64.7 million is in student athlete services. This includes funding for catastrophic injury insurance, drug testing, and leadership development. This also funds several NCAA scholarships, including postgraduate scholarships for former student athletes pursuing master's degrees and doctorates. In addition, money from this fund supports the NCAA honors ceremony and Woman of the Year award. $39.5 million is in membership support services NCAA rules are proposed and approved by member schools, and the NCAA dedicates significant resources to support the governance process, including committees and the NCAA convention, in addition to training for campuses and national office support. $3.5 million is provided for educational services, which allows the NCAA offers training and educational services to members and student athletes, including the Women's Coaches Academy, the Pathway Program, and the Emerging Leaders Seminar. $43.9 million is other association-wide expenses. This includes association-wide legal services, communications, and business insurance. Lastly, $44.8 million goes into a general and administrative expenses fund. This funds the day-to-day operations for the NCAA National Office, including administrative and financial services, information technology, and facilities management. Again, the NCAA hands out more scholarships second to the federal government. There are very specific things that these scholarships can be provided for. They cannot provide travel as far as giving a student athlete a personal vehicle. This is not backup for employment. Athletes, even though they are on scholarships, still do have to provide for their own expenses. They are not given a phone allowance. They are not given a clothing allowance aside from what is basically issued for their uniform.